Hey guys, Axemun here, and I have not been playing Trove for quite a while. I think it's been a week since I've actually played Trove, so yeah, that was very strange. Anyway, I'm back, and today we're going to be doing a quick review of the Pirate, and I've got to be honest, the Pirate, it's such a fun class. It's completely different from all the other ones. It's probably the closest thing you'll ever get on this game to a summoner. Ah, yes, you can basically, a one-man army. Well, you probably got about 3 other things helping you kill things, but yeah, you're basically a one-man army. Now moving straight on, we're going to be looking at the skills. The first initial skill you have is basically firing your gun. I can kind of describe this as like a shotgun or blunderbuss. It has one hell of a cone and you can hit quite a lot. The only downside to this, it's quite slow to start off with and it doesn't have the greatest of reaches. But it really makes up for its area of effect. This thing shoots a huge area in front of you. You can pretty much wipe down crowds just your main attack alone, which is really good. But you're going to want to get your attack speed up as high as you can. It's a very slow attack to start off with, but it does increase and it does improve significantly with speed. Before I talk about the first skill you unlock, I think I need to talk about the mechanics and the passive skill of the Pirate. The Pirate doesn't have energy regen. Your passive skill, Blunderbuss, which sounds like what your main attack should be called, but anyway, I'm moving on. Your Blunderbuss skill, passive skill, every time you hit an enemy, they drop things called doubloons. I have no idea if that's what they call, but that's how they look like they're called, so I'm going to call them that. These then recover your energy by 10 every time you collect one. It's not that bad because you hit more than one enemy at a given time, given your main attack. And yeah, they recover your energy. These also come into play then with the first skill you unlock. First Mate, I think it was called. You throw your pirate next to you. Yeah, your little pirate flying right next to you. You throw him, he lands on a cannon, and he basically just goes to town on these things. Initially, he's pretty weak. He's not that weak, but he's definitely not as strong as he could be. But then when you start attacking enemies and they drop doubloons, you collect these doubloons, and the cannon, it just completely buffs up, and it is a freaking tank cannon. It is unreal. Is freaking powerful, man. This parrot literally killed things. I'm like, if I have a huge crowd coming at me, I will go off, split that crowd up, I'll work on these 1 or 2 that I'm killing, turn around, and it turns out my parrot's actually killed about 2 or 3 enemies as well. This cannon is freaking powerful. It's literally almost as powerful as you are. It is outstanding. I think for a first skill you unlock, this is probably one of the best skills I've actually seen on this game. It is so useful. Also as well, when you pick up these doubloon things, they also increase the duration of that skill. It doesn't last very long normally, it only lasts for a couple of seconds, but the more doubloons you pick up, the longer it lasts, so yeah, as long as there's something to kill, this cannon is going to stay out. Obviously, if you recast the cannon, it will go back down to the initial level and it'll be weak again, but you'd be surprised if this thing increases its strength really quickly and you don't even notice it's doing it. It does it so quick. So yeah, this is an outstanding skill. Always have this out whenever you're fighting anything. It doesn't die. Well, it does die, but it tends to take a hell of a beating before it actually dies. The second skill you unlock is Pretend Pirate. This is where your one-man army does really start to come into play. You can throw out a pirate which acts as a decoy to the enemies. This, it doesn't have much of a HP pool, if I'm honest. These don't take much of a beating before they die. But what does happen though, they blow up, and depending on how many enemies the explosion hits, depends on how many doubloons, this thing will actually drop as well, which then in turn recovers your energy. One thing I must say about Pretend Pirate, it is the only skill you have that will use energy, and it actually uses up an awful lot of energy. It uses about 60 energy per time, or per cast, if I should say. So you will find you'll throw about 2, maybe 3 of these, and you're out of energy. One thing I can say about this, spam this skill as much as you can. You will survive so long with this thing out. You can throw as many of you want, as many of them out as you can. There is no limit to it. They don't take much of a beating though until they actually disappear though, so you will see these disappear quite a lot. But the explosion part is actually helpful, does deal a decent amount of damage, nothing too spectacular. The fact they also drop doubloons as well, so they help increase your cannon strength and whatnot. And also they're just decoys in general, so the enemies will be more concentrated in attacking them than you, so yeah, it kind of just helps to add to your health and survivability. So brilliant skill to have. You will look like an army of pirates. even though they're stationary and they just commit suicide when they die. It's an extremely useful skill. The fact you can throw as many as you want out, well, as much as your energy allows, brilliant skill to have. The ultimate skill you unlock, Man o' War. This is a pretty decent ultimate skill. It's nothing spectacular like some of, I don't know, some of the other classes. It's nothing really to brag about with it. It's basically the same as your first mate skill, except it has a slightly higher area of effect. Slightly higher range, as I should say. Also, as well, the cannons, well, I don't know what it actually shoots, cannonballs or some shit, I don't know, like mini nukes. But anyway, when they blow up, they cause like a skull effect, which kind of looks cool. The explosions of them, they kind of have a decent area of effect as well. Kind of a good crowd controller. I don't think this thing actually gets damaged. I don't think enemies actually target this thing, so can't really use it as a decoy. But then again, I think all your pretend pirates and your actual man, not Man of War, the first one, first mate, that's the one, yes, they'll use them as decoys. Not much to say about this ultimate skill then, other than it's just a buffed up version of your first mate skill. Still useful nonetheless. I found this thing very useful, and it also has a really small recharge time, so you can pretty much near enough spam this thing, kind of. It just recharges quick. Nice. On to the build. Yes, how are you going to build this thing? I don't know, was I struggling to build this thing? I don't think I was, to be honest, though. I think it's quite an easy build. I just hit my table, that hurt. Anyway, yes, the build. I've kind of just recycled my gun off my gunslinger. I don't know, that's kind of good, I suppose, if I've just randomly found a 6-star. Attack speed, definitely, you really want to get that up. Energy regen, that is, at the moment, it's a pretty wasted skill. I don't know what to do, whether to get rid of that and try and put something else there, but then again, this gun is also shared with my gunslinger, so if I'm going to swap them back and forth, he's going to kind of want to use that as well, so I might just sacrifice that at the moment and just have a wasted skill. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, won't we? Anyway, we're going to move on. What else am I using? I'm using a face. What's on my face? Yes, magic damage. Have that. Seriously, buff this guy's strength up as much as you can. Because, yes, killing things is a lot of fun when you can kill them quicker. Health? Yeah, kind of. Not have to really concentrate that much on health because of your survivability, but still try and get it up pretty high. What's mine at now? 11,000? Yeah. Going pretty good. That's pretty good. What else do we have? Attack speed. I could probably increase that attack speed even more, but I hate the rolling machine. I hate the Chaos Forge. It hates me. We're going to leave the relationship at that at the moment. My hat. Yes, I like my hat. Attack speed again, buff that up. Health, just chunks of health, I suppose. Yep. That is pretty much all you need. It's just health and health regen. My ring. Oh, it's a pitiful ring. It is a very pitiful ring, and I am just too lazy to try and make another one. I have tried, but it's just not really happening, so I've kind of given up. But seriously, jump. I like to jump. Everyone likes to have a significant amount of jump. Magic damage. What else are we looking at then? There's not that much else to say. Tomes, that's not really significant. Allies. We're going to move on to allies. Originally, I was using the Chronomancer. The extra attack, what was it at? Oh, just under 4 grand. 4 grand, 4,000, that's what I meant. I don't know, 4,000, kind of... what I do like about the Prowling Shadow and... where is it? Samantha. They increase... well, they give you health every time you attack something. This really does add a hell of a lot to your survivability. Given that you can hit multiple enemies... well, you naturally hit multiple enemies at a time... your health really does like increase like crazy amount when you're using the Prowling Shadow and Samantha. The Chronomancer, I don't know, it's just an attack buff, but survivability I did notice like a drop in survivability, so I don't know, I'm pretty much happy with that. But yeah, Samantha, attack, sacrifice, energy regen, I don't know why you would want to switch with that. I actually don't. I don't know. Maybe more jump if you wanted to jump there so you can sacrifice that for something else. Probably that would work the best, to be honest. So yeah, sacrifice energy regen there for jump. But that's just my build. I'm sorry, kind of bragging on a bit now. Yeah, health, magic damage, serious magic damage, and attack speed. Again, attack speed. Need to max out my attack speed, but there we go. Yes, I'm bragging on now, but that is pretty much it. Flasks. Couldn't give a shit, to be honest with you guys. You can use whatever the hell you want. I just like to use the yielding flask because That's just me. I really couldn't give a flying. So the pros and cons of this class. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Survivability for the pros. This guy survives ages. You throw out those decoys, you will last an awful long time. Not much else to say. He's pretty overpowered as well, kind of. I've got a feeling he might get nerfed. I usually found his attacks really powerful, like seriously powerful, more than what I would normally expect. I can pretty much solo U5 with this thing, no problem at all, whereas other classes I can solo U5, but I usually find they're a bit of a struggle, so yeah, this guy is a good U5 tanker, if you could say that. You basically are a one-man army, so you could just do everything yourself, given that you can just use your skills to act as an army for you. The cons, on the other hand, again, not that much. He's a bit of a slow starter, to be honest with you, and the fact energy regen, I know is not that much of a problem, but you have to hit enemies, and I don't know, kind of a pain in the arse sometimes. You can also use flasks, I suppose, to help recover that, but nobody uses those flasks. I think they were called Zeo flasks, I can't remember. Yeah, not much for cons though. He's just a bit of a slow to start off with, and yeah, pretty decent overall. I actually like this class very much. I actually think he's going to be my new main class, which is quite a surprise. But yeah, brilliant class. All I got to do is get him up to level 20 now. Rank 20. Yes. Nice. Yeah. Also, he can't dance for shit.